I'm done with these books and I'm not even on these anymore, but I'm going to do these anyway. And this book will probably take about half an hour to do it. It takes even longer than that sometimes. But
Sure you got that aimed right?
yeah. The first song is called When the Saints Go Marching In, and of course, this is a review piece. Okay, now I'm going to do in grand piano 1 2 in the D5 figure scale because it's written in G.
That's like the first time you ever made a mistake.
Yeah,
Ever.
it
On that
is.
one.
It is.
Yeah, even the first day
Dad,
you
the
played
camera
it.
might be aiming at you.
Huh?
The camera might be aiming at you.
No!
Get shorts on. Okay, so this is called Famous People. And at first, before this, they're telling you about eighth notes. This is the first song with eighth notes for the for the piano adventure books. Okay, and this is called Skip to My Lou. Here we go. Wait. Now I'm going to do in strings and harpsichord 1, and I'm going to do it faster. Now this one's called Leftover Popcorn, and they're telling you about a natural that cancels a sharp or flat. A natural will always be a white key. Here we go. This is optional. But I kind of created that, but they say you can do it in different octaves, but I usually just do it going higher and higher because they don't tell you can't do that. And then I added. Okay, so this is called A Minuet for Mr. Bach's Children from the notebook from Anna Magdalena Bach, arranged. Anna Magdalena Bach's special notebook. Mr. Johann Sebastian Bach, 1685 to 1750, Germany, had a large family, 20 children. The Bach family had a special notebook filled with music written by the family and friends. Bach presented this music notebook to his wife, Anna Magdalena, as a gift. Anna Magdalena's initials and the year 1725 were printed in gold on light green paper. This minuet is one of the most famous selections. Review the damper pedal. The right foot pedal is on the piano is called the damper pedal. And this is Mr. Brahms' famous lullaby, Johannes Brahms, 1833 to 1897, Germany, arranged. Here we go. Can you not talk? This happens every time. And you play any high F to end, but that one's kind of almost sounds the best. Okay, now I'm going to play it in Grand Piano 2 and Electric Piano 2 with the pedal and an octave higher. And then they show stars in the moon. So then, like at the end for a special ending, they put a high F, and then they put it in a star. Okay, so this is called Ice Cream, and this is the C5 finger scale. And this is now they're telling you about transposition.
You know who has ice cream?
And they do it next time. What?
Al.
What?
Al has ice cream.
Who?
Al's ice cream. Let's go to Al's!
Okay, here we go. And then more ice cream. This is the same piece, but using the G5 finger scale. And they're both written in 2/4 time, which they could have easily been written in 4/4 time, but they decided it would be different to have it in 2/4 time, because they usually don't have it written in 2/4 time. Okay, so this is called Mr. Hainsey. Now they're telling you about transposing, but the segment or unit 2 of transposition was really an ice cream, because they're telling you you can do it in the G5 finger scale. Now they're telling you about transposing, playing the same piece but using a different scale. It's called transposing. The note names change, but the intervals stay the same. So let's just check the box when you're ready. So it says first I can play this piece using the G5 finger scale, and that's how it's written. And that was from Franz Joseph Haydn, 1732 to 1809, Austria arranged. And then you can play it in the C5 finger scale, but you really can play it in any 5 finger scale if you know them, which you already do. Okay, my daydream. Using the G5 finger scale. So, if you notice, I don't know if you can see this, but I'm on a different pedal. If you're wondering why, that one actually came with this keyboard, but the reason I haven't been using it is it was switched to, like, if you didn't hold it, it would sustain. If you did hold it to sustain, it didn't sustain. So it was weird, but then it changed overnight, because the only reason I did it was because this one on Ishmark, and maybe this is like a grandfather clock that broke or something, but it tells you to hold the damper pedal down throughout the entire piece, ringing joyously, and then this they're saying new dynamic barks, but this is a review. Here we go. And at the end, I thought the end was you. And then you float up. That says into any high G, and I thought they meant. And then you just went like it landed on. But then with your you brace 3 with 1, I guess. But, so I guess you could go like that, but I always just do it with my 3rd finger. And they have you do all G's, and instead of having the quarter note for each one, they have it a G, but at the end there's just one bell, and each one's a quarter note, which means it's the half note dot, because it wasn't an upbeat at the beginning, so there was 3 full beats and it's 3/4 time. So it would have been like, if it had only 2 beats at the beginning, it would have been different, but it only has 1, so that means it has to be a dotted quarter note. So it's got to be like that. So they don't tell you to transpose it, but I'm going to transpose it to the A5 finger scale. And I'm going to do it Granthino 1 and 2. Okay, so then this is called the Elf Silver Hammer. And this one, both hands are written in the treble clef. Okay, so this is called Ode to Joy. And they're telling you about the phrase, how it's a phrase is a musical idea or thought. And then this is from, of course, it's from Ludwig van Beethoven, and he was from 1770 to 1827, Germany in the Rage. And this is from the 9th Symphony, and he wrote 9 symphonies, so this was from his very last one. And then they're telling you about, this is like, not a review, but they tells you about, also, like, they tell you can use, like, crescendos and diminuendos to shape the phrase. Okay, so here we go. Okay. And then this is called I Am the King, written in the G5 finger scale. Okay, so this is called Moonlight Melody. Gently drifting. Okay, so this is called the Puppet Show. And I do an organ too. And if you notice, I didn't start with with the popular repertoire songs. Like I didn't do it last time. Well, I'll do those at the end if I remember. I might forget though. Okay, so this is called Kitchity Kippy, and it's Michigan's biggest spring, and it's an Indian word for big cold water. Okay, so this is called Our Detective Agency. And first, the puppet show was a little short because they were telling you about half steps, and now they're telling you about half steps and whole steps. And this is, like I said, this is called Our Detective Agency, and it's the first one that has whole steps and half steps. No, I don't think it's the first one. Yeah, it might be, but they all have usually whole steps. But I don't think they've had half steps before. Maybe, I don't remember. Here we go. And now I'm going to do it in organ 2 and electric piano 2. Storms on Saturn. Fermata. Hold this note longer than its value. So for some reason, Fermata, they act like you've never known it before, but really this is a review because they taught you it the first time in the level 1 books, and they always tell you about Fermata. Like every book they tell you about Fermata. It's not even a symbol that's used much, but I don't know why they're always telling you about it. Maybe they've experienced a lot of kids that couldn't remember about it or something. So I don't know why they always do this. But here we go. So hold the damper pedal down through the entire piece, throughout the entire piece. And left hand plays the lowest D on the piano at the end, and it says as soft as possible. Which a lot of times you try to go soft as possible, and it's way louder. And sometimes you go so soft that you don't even make a sound. It's really weird. Okay, so now they're telling you about the D5 finger scale, but that's no big deal for me because it's like I knew that so long ago. D is one of the easiest scales almost. D 5-finger scale, A 5-finger scale, and the C 5-finger scale are just about the easiest ones there are. Okay, here we go. Oh, this is called Cheers for D chords. Okay, so this is called This Right Hand Old Man, D 5-finger scale. Now I'm going to transpose it to the A 5-finger scale. And I'm going to do it in vibraphone and electric piano 1. Okay, so now I'm going to do this left hand old man, also written in the D 5-finger scale. grand piano 2 and organ. Oh no, and strings. Okay, so now I'm gonna. This is or I'm gonna. Okay, this is called Spring from the Four Seasons, and it's from Antonio Vivaldi from 1678 to 1741 Italy, and it's arranged. Here we go. Okay, strings and grand piano 2 again. Okay. This is called Pirate of the North Sea. Okay, the Queen's Royal Entrance. And they're basically just showing you what it sounds like to switch between D chords and C chords. This isn't a very complicated song, but it sounds very cool. Okay, now the A5 finger scale. Cheers for A chords. Because the A5 finger scale, they tell you about the scale, and you already know about that. Okay, here we go. Cheers for A chords. Sound this piece by using G blocks and broken chords, then repeat using the A chords. Okay, Peter Pan's Flight, flying along. Well, sometimes I'm saying the tempo markings, but this one's funny because it's flying along. That's what he's doing. Okay, I'm going to do in grand piano 1 and electric piano 1. And I'm going to do in the G5 finger scale. Electric piano 1 and grand piano 2. No, grand piano 1 and electric piano 1. Here we go. Okay. Rolling Leaves. And this one is a little bit higher than they usually are, so I'm going to move the chair a little higher. And they're telling me that ledger line E, which is new. Here we go. Okay. So, they tell you, they said think in little letters. It says rolling leaves, rolling leaves over and over. So they're telling you to think those words like that's what it's going on. Okay, here we go. Electric piano 2 and grand piano 2. Okay, so now they tell you that you can do this and change the left hand pattern to ACE because the left hand pattern they want you to do. And then using fingers 5, 3, and 1, change the right hand pattern to all white keys A B C D E, A B C D E. Now play this piece and make up a new title. Okay, so here we go. So I'm not sure if that's exactly what they mean, but it seems close to it because the next page happens to be major and minor sounds they're telling you about, and that's unit 7. So it would make sense that that's why they're doing it because of minor sounds. And here we go. This is called changing moods, and I already know these. So sometimes I shorten them because to just chords, so I can go. And that's over. But this is the real sign. See, so next time takes longer than I would have it do take because I already know all this stuff, so it's just easier to do the chords. Okay, sword dance, D minor 5-finger scale. And they're telling you about tempo marks, which is allegro fast and lively beat equals 126 to 168. Moderato is moderately slower than allegro, 108 to 120. Andante is walking speed slower than moderato, 76 to 104. Okay, and this piece is played in allegro. Now I'm going to do a special thing. I'm going to put in strings and harpsichord too, and here we go. You can use allegro, moderato, or andante. Okay, so this is called In an Old Castle, and it's from Ferdinand Bayer from 1803 to 1863. He lived, and he also lived in Germany. Original form. So this is the primo part, which means the upper or lower or upper or higher part. I think it means first or upper part. I think that's what they said. Let me go see. They tell you in this book. I forgot. Leprechauns. They say, yeah, first or upper part is the primo, and the secondary is what the teacher plays, and that's the second or lower part. Okay, so I'm going to play the primo, and then I'm going to play the secondary because my teacher taught me it. Here we go. I said optional play octave lower. And they said they could transpose it in Old Castle to D minor. Okay, so now I'm going to do the andante part, or the second part, and it's andante also. They both were, and this is the teacher part. Okay. do it one time and I play with my teacher, and they sound really weird together. Okay, so here we go. So that was a little faster than it's supposed to be played, but it doesn't really matter that much. So, what am I gonna say? Oh, so the pedal part in here, this one is really hard because you have to stop and start the pedal, and it's crazy doing it so many times. So it's like, but it's really cool how they figured out that you have to do it that exact amount. If you do it like any more than that, it doesn't sound exactly right. Even how they read it, even how it's written, it still doesn't sound exactly right. You have to like hold the note and then hold down the pedal. It's really crazy. Okay, so this is called Jazz Blast. And this is in the C minor 5 finger scale. I can write that down. I never wrote it down. C, M 5 fingers. And this is right hand warm up. Because that's like just really easy, and it tells you to play it fast. This is it for the tempo marking. So the reason it's called Jazz Blast, I thought it was because they're having a blast, like they're having fun, but it's Jazz Blast because it's like a little blast, I think, of jazz. Like there's a whole song they made up to it, but this is just a blast of it, or it's just one little blast of the jazz. But then they have Jazz Blast Improvisation. That's why it's so small, because it's only 3 lines, and it's only 12 measures long, which isn't very much. Let me see, circle a C minor chord in this piece. What is that? Right. Oh, I did it circle. Okay. So then the student goes in any order, and then the teacher plays the duet. But I do it with both hands, and then I do this hand different, and now I'm gonna do the improvisation. Here we go. Alright, okay, so I'm gonna do Jazz Blast first, and then do it. this is cheers for C minor chords, and these are exercises for C, G, D, and A minor chords. So first is cheers for C minor chords. And then this is applause for G minor chords. Hooray for D minor chords. Woo! And then bravo for A minor chords. It says choose one of these minor chords and make up your own chord drill. I'm going to choose D minor. Here we go. So that wasn't completely just the chords, but it was close. And they're telling you, what's a lead sheet? And in popular music, the lead beats the melody, and then they're telling you about other stuff, little facts, but it's not that big of a deal. And then lead sheet for Gold Talent Rhody, G major and G minor, and traditional. Okay, here we go. Okay, so now I'm going to do it again in grand piano 1 and 2. Now I'm going to transpose it to the key of C. And now I'm going to do it in inversions, in chord inversions. So G. Okay. So. Okay. The last one, and I'm also going to be doing this for the recital, Snake Charmer. G minor 5-finger scale. For a special effect, the right hand forefinger is raised to C sharp in this piece. So if it was G minor, it would be, but for a special effect, it's, and that sounds more like a flute that way. So here we go. Okay, so now I'm going to do it in organ 2, and for another special effect, I'm going to take this off, put it on the floor, and I'm going to switch the Casio keyboard to 073 flute, and then I'm going to tilt this camera, and then I'm going to play both. Okay, so this one, it seems like like the right hand has the melody. So I'm gonna play the tune in the Yamaha and then the melody in the Casio. Yes, here we go. I'm done here. Oh, you know what? I didn't even turn this on. Oh, I know what happened. Oh no. What is going on? Okay, this one's gotta be plugged in. Speaker's gotta be plugged in. What is going on here? Something weird is going on. It's like it's not on here or something. What is this? Okay, I don't know what just happened or was going on. But this is too high. Okay, there we go. Both pedals. So I don't know if you heard me, but I was saying both pedals because I have to press both to do each keyboard, and that's really cool. Using both. So your right foot does the damper pedal, but in this case I have to use both of them, so I'm using my left and right foot, which it's funner that way than using just one foot. Okay, so that's the end for the lesson book, and I'm going to return to the songs tomorrow with the technique artistry book with the cover gone because it fell off a long time ago. Okay, signing off.